Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining our workshop on event management and how AI can help some. We are going to present some of the tools and some of the strategies and solution on how event management companies can improve their present operational challenges. Now, event management is something, one of the most complex areas or businesses where on the day of the event it becomes such a mess, it's become such a chaos, right? I have been part of a event management company. I have been a co-founder of an event management company and for a very long time, and I have seen that what are the challenges we face. There's a huge number of challenges, specifically when you are coming, the day of the event. When the day of the event is coming, there are so many challenges. There are communication issues, there are vendor issues. So we are going to be looking into a good number of issues. Okay, and so for this workshop specifically, I have my team here. You see that the five of us for the last 45 days we have been doing a lot of research. I'm sure that some of them have already reached out to maybe one few of you, asking for questions, asking for what are the challenges you have faced in event management in your business, right? So after doing so much research and obviously looking into, there is a pretty common set of challenges almost all event management companies face, and we try to find out that how AI can solve some of them. Now, to give you a brief about us, we are Innofied Solutions. We are a 13 years old company specializing in building SaaS-based systems and AI software for the startups to enterprises. Okay, so we are already working with a good number of businesses in fintech sector, in healthcare sector, in e-commerce, in transportation and logistics. We have our own SaaS software in transportation and logistics, and we have built so many AI features into the software. Now, when it comes to event management, it is very difficult. There are so much manual involvement. I'm sure that there are tools people are using, but making AI, solve some of this pain, we haven't seen a good number of tools or strategies there. So we thought that why not let us look into that part, because there are so many tools already coming up in the other top industries, not much for event management. And because I have some knowledge in event management, we thought that let us look into it. Let us try to understand that what are the major challenges all these businesses are facing, and if we what part of that maybe can be solved by AI. Okay, now what we did is, when you are doing this research for the workshop, we started building some proof of concepts. Okay, so that we'll be able to show you live that how these tools or this type of capabilities, AI capabilities, may be helpful to you. Now, these are not ready products. We are not trying to build a ready product, right? We are doing that for so many other customers or so many big companies. But for event management, we wanted to make it not like a webinar. We wanted to make it more like a workshop where we want you to participate and share some of your thoughts that whether this AI capabilities will help you or not. Okay, so that is one part of it, and the team has been working for the last few weeks with so much effort into it. Then there's another reason also. I'm presently authoring a book on AI orchestration in business automation, and that becomes also one of my part of my research. So both together, we try to find out that what are the major challenges in this industry and how AI can solve some part of that. Now, after looking into the solutions, you may tell that, hey, I don't think that this is going to be a good solution. You know it much better than us. We are the technical guys. We know how AI capabilities can be created, how AI capabilities can be integrated into the system, but the major real challenges and how that can be resolved, there is no straightforward answers. Okay, so here is our agenda for the workshop. We are going to just look into the core challenges in the event management industry, and we find out that some of the challenges are very, very difficult to solve with AI, at least with the type of capabilities AI presently have. AI cannot do that level of automation or that level of advanced automation capabilities, but some of the capabilities can be utilized there, right? We are we'll see that what solutions event management companies are seeking, and then we'll show you live some of these tools. Now we have also recorded all videos of these workflows, right? And we put it into this presentation. After this workshop, our team is going to send you this presentation so that you can take a look at the videos and you can get an understanding of how we thought it can be solved. Okay. So let us take a look at the major challenges. Oh, before that, I think there's a poll. Ankita, we have a poll coming up, right? Can I see the poll? Okay, you go ahead with the poll. I'm sure that the team, the audience is going to be answering that. I can move on to the next part. We need some of your inputs there. So all these polls are going to be really helpful for us to get an understanding of what you are using or how you are using or what challenges you are facing. Now, what are the major challenges in the event management industry? When we did the research, and obviously there are so many different places we put together, people say that this is the main challenge, another research says that this is the main challenge. Putting all together, we found out that this is the major list. It's pretty difficult to see it from the chart, so let us go through one by one. First of all, the budget overruns, right? So budget is one of the major challenge in any event, whether it is like event like a wedding event, whether it's a corporate event, everywhere budget is a challenge, right? And when we started looking into the interviews, we started looking into the testimonials from event managers, top event company founders. We saw that budgeting becomes one of the major challenge. The reason being, and I have seen that myself because I have been part of an event management company, that's a very specific time your event is going to run, right? At that specific moment, either you have full-time employees or you are going to be hiring employees in contract, right? Now, hiring people in contract is always going to be costly. Training them is going to be issue, there's going to be a lot of issue. You cannot have one person taking care of a lot of capabilities, right? So you may have to have specific people for specific action items, right? So those all put together, it becomes a very costly affair, right? And day by day this cost is increasing. Like, just to give you an idea of the recent survey in 2025 found that 30% of the planners cited that vendor cost increased as a major obstacle, with 23% said that there decrease in budgets or client investments, right? So planners are forced to do more with less, right? So there's a one person CEO of global TMC partners, Catherine Shaudet. She has said that 10 to 20% budget increase hasn't kept pace with 10 to 30% cost spike in travel, lodging, and AV. So planners are facing a perfect storm of increased cost, leaving little room for innovation, right? So I'm sure that when we're going to talk about AI, we'll be trying to find out that how this budget constraint can be reduced. Now, the way AI can help there, maybe not directly, but indirectly we may find out that if we really utilize on some specific areas, we may reduce good amount of manual work and we can increase a good amount of automated work. We'll come to that. Now, next challenge is time management and tight deadlines, right? So time management, like planners often work up to the last day of the event, like sorting elements and adjusting to the last minute changes. Every event has last minute issues, right? So it's a 2025 industry guide said that the common last minute challenges include vendor delays or no shows, unexpected changes in attendee count, technical issues with AV, and miscommunication among teams, right? So all of them, I'm sure that there are more than that. Time management and very tight deadlines after budget is one of the major concerning areas. So one person really said that very nicely, that years have become months, months have become weeks, and weeks are now days. That's such an impacting statement. Now the next issue is the vendor coordination and communication. We tried to find out a lot of solutions around it. Okay, try to find out what are the how we can solve it. Okay, and we found out that maybe certain way we can solve it. It cannot be solved completely by automation, but some part of it can be solved with automation. Again, you will tell it better if that can be done. Again, AI is still pretty new here. If it can solve some part of it, you will still get a good amount of time and extra time to put into other areas, right? So. That's the one testimonial we got, I think, from Reddit or something like that, where you mentioned that our account managers have to jump on the phone to get quotes from vendors and suppliers as they delegate rates and hires change based on the date and time of the year, right? So I'm sure that all of you are facing it. It is a regular affair. It is happening every day. So people who are managing events, right, they have to communicate with the vendors. Vendors are not always uh, keeping in track with the last minute changes. They are giving shocks, and they're coming up with new stuff, like so on. Even manager has mentioned that the constant communication with vendors and sharing event details, so they know the deadlines, okay, because they are looking into so many different types of events, and their priority changes a lot. Like, so 8.5% of the planners say the late vendor commitments are a significant source of stress that disrupts timeline and planning. Okay, so again, maybe you already know about it, or you wanted to emphasize the fact, because when we are going to look into the solution, we needed to know that what are the major challenges. Okay, and there are so many challenges. When you look into it, there are more than 10, 15 challenges. Not all can be resolved. Fourth is the communication gaps and misalignment. This happens a lot. Again, if we are working with all these new people, new contractors, right? You are hiring interns, you are hiring employees in contract, they are not that much trained, right? So communication gap is going to be one of the major issues. I have seen that, and I used to, we used to arrange all these very, very big weddings on the canvas on very big ships, right? So uh, it was huge events, okay, and we have seen that how communication gaps give so much issues on the day of the event, because not everyone can be continuously in call with others, right? So that's one of the fourth major challenge. Fifth challenge is the technical glitches and the on-site issues. You have already seen that we have started the event 6 minutes late. Some internet issues, something has always happened. So it is always there. We have organized so many online events. We have organized some of the in-person events ourselves. We have said this is very, very common. You guys know it pretty better. So most event planners say that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And we in technology, when we give demos to our clients, and this is very, very true at that time. We generally have. That's why I was telling you that in our presentation you get all the videos, because if we are at the showing of the demo, something doesn't work, you at least have the videos to look into. Other challenges, right? So there are attendee engagement and experience, right? That's not more like a challenge, but obviously events are changing all around the world, right? So everyone is trying to bring some innovation, and we have seen that. When we went to a pretty big, uh, you guys are able to hear me, right? So you know. Attendee engagement and experience, we have seen that all these big conferences, when we have been part of that, in multi-day conferences, they come up with so many different unique ideas, right? And things are changing on a daily basis. After COVID, number of events, online, hybrid, and in-person events has increased significantly, right? So everyone is trying to come up with some new ideas. We have some ideas there. We didn't put much emphasize on this attendee engagement or experience, because that is not that, I think that is something where people can come up with new products, and not that's not going to be a lot of big deal. Stuffing and skill gaps, this is one of the areas you see that how AI can help or may help there. Audience acquisition and engagement, that is also one of the areas where AI can automate certain level of stuff. Then fragmented tools, no unified system. This is a challenge for any business. Okay, and even management is going to be obviously one of them. There are, I hope you're able to hear me, right? Is there any glitch? Okay, muted. either way. So fragmented tools, no unified systems. So any tool, any system that we build, use in our businesses also, whether it is CRM, whether it is even marketing software, whether it is you know project management system, we needed all of them to be connected, and we do not always have that. Even if there are one way of integrations, but not always they work as a combined systematic way. Okay, so that becomes one of the challenge where a lot of data leaks happen. Okay, so we'll come to that, and then the manual and repetitive workflow. Maybe this is also something we can reduce significantly with the help of AI. Okay, we have had only one option for doing a poll, so we'll skip that. Now, what are the tools and technologies modern event companies are using? So, all of these event companies, specifically the big ones, the conference, top conferences, corporate events, they are using a good number of tools. Okay, so there are so many tools. We have used some of these tools like Bisado and all. We have seen that how they help. They are still there. They help a lot in multiple specific areas. Let's see. First is the event management platform that is very important for specifically events to manage everything at one place. So it's a pretty high priority tool. Second, the marketing and promotion automation. Right? So I'm sure that most of the companies are using a good number of CRM system, email marketing systems, so certain level of automation system and promotion system they have to use depending on the type of the event. And then on-site event technology, right? So this is high to medium priority. What are the different type of on the day of the event? What type of different technologies they are using? Fourth is the engagement and audience interaction tools. We have just discussed about it that there are some tools and capabilities. Even we build some of these custom tools to ensure that we are able to interact more with the other attendees of the event. And then there's a CRM and sales integration, right? So that is pretty much common for most of the top businesses. So these are the tools and technologies event management companies are using. When we started doing research about if these companies have started using AI, we have seen that almost 60% are using AI some way or other. But that's not exactly a complete workflow automation. The way people are using AI, maybe they're using some tools. We are using ChatGPT. We are using for content creation. We are using some specific tools, AI tools, to help in some specific areas. But those are not a very connected ecosystem. Okay, so it is very important, when you are using when you are having such a big event, your all systems are connected to each other, right? So they are they must be communicating. They must be able to provide content to the AI, right? So that the AI can keep on improving itself, right? And that is how it can start solving the pain. So whatever AI we are seeing today, right? And from the day ChatGPT has started, most of the AI capabilities we have seen that it either helps in certain level of amount of research. It helps in creating content. It gives a pretty good content. It does a good amount of technical stuff, and that is how people have enabled it. So what we tried to do in our workshop, we tried to see how we can create some tools and how those tools can at one side be trained, and the other side how this tool can solve the challenge. So whenever we are using any AI system, whenever we are building any AI system for any customer, whether it is fintech or healthcare, right? So there are always two parts of it. One part is how we are creating a workflow which is combined of multiple agents, and how we are training these agents, right? So the training part is very important, because that training will help you reduce the effort or the manual effort. Now think of what happens whenever you are having an event. Maybe you have hired a good number of contractors, and some of the employees you have hired, right? Now they are either some of the people who are associated with you for a very long time, and for that specific event you have hired maybe another set of people. Now what you have to do is you have to train these guys, right? When you are going to train this guy, obviously they are not coming for, they are not associated with the company for very long, right? So they have their limitation. So they will be training, but they will be forgetting about that also. Not everyone will be trained in the same manner. Some will be very good with the training and they can answer or do the job pretty well. Some will be doing a pretty average job, right? So that is how you think. Or maybe you can think of that you are hiring a few interns. And when you are hiring intern, what do we do whenever we are hiring interns? We generally give that intern one set of work or two set of work, not more than that. And we tell them that, hey, learn that very well, and you just keep on doing that. Okay, this an intern cannot take care of 10 different things, but an intern can do probably one thing or two things very well repeatedly, right? Now, interns again, they are human beings, right? So they have their challenges. Now, think of you are replacing this intern with an AI agent or a combination of AI agents, right? Now, what you are doing is whenever there is a communication happening, whether it is chat, whether it is email, whether it is calling, whether it is, you have documentation, you have website, you have blogs, you can use all of them to train that agent, or you can train all the agents. Right? Now, once they are trained, you know that a trained agent will always be able to give you answer. Right? So it is like you ask a question, it will give you an answer. You ask another question, if everything is within that knowledge base of the training, it is going to give you answer. That's a big deal. Okay, that's a big deal because we have already started using it in our own internal system. We have started using it. A lot of clients are building this type of stuff just to see that how all these agents are, having how all these agents are being trained, right? Continuously, they are being trained. They are being trained with the static data. They are being trained with the blocks, or maybe there's a feed. From that, it is going to be continuously being trained. Plus, they are going to be learning from the real communication. That's a big deal. So, you as an event manager or you as a event company's head, maybe you are communicating with so many people, or somehow those communications are being recorded. So much every meeting that we do today, all of them are recorded by some tools, right? So now think of that those tools and those contents are used by training that agent. So if you look into it, or if you think about it, how many times you have told your employees the same thing and then you saw that they are forgetting it? That happens, right? But AI agent, even if in a smaller context, can do a lot big deal here. Right? It can do a great job because it has been trained with all the information. And when you're talking about information, it's like, think of you have given it, say, 2 million words contained, and it is trained, right? Obviously, 2 million words training will take good amount of time, effort, cost, but it is trained, right? And not a human being can be trained like that, right? So we are going to be seeing how some of these AI can help us in event management. Okay, so we have looked into 5 different areas and we tried to see that if these can be helpful. Okay, I mean, not necessarily these will be only helpful in event management. This can be helpful in other type of businesses. But at this point, we looked into only event management. So from your end, everything that we have discussed so far, I have been talking. If you have any question, I'll be, please put it in the chat, because at a point of time, I'm sure that so much I have shared, you may have questions. Before we go into the next section, which is showing you how the system works, feel free to put all the questions. We'll come to those questions at the end of the workshop. Okay, now with that, let us screen. So now how AI can help? Okay, we have looked into 5 different areas we mentioned, right? It starts with the knowledge base and training, right? So if there are so many different event agents that we are using, think of for your event, you are having one agent for communication, as a chatbot, right? And we are continuously building this type of chatbots. So if there's a chatbot, you need to train that with a knowledge base, right? If there is someone who is going to be taking the calls automatically, right? All the inbound calls, that agent needs to be trained. If you want to have an agent which will do all the outreach based calling, maybe you have a list of 100 vendors and you want this agent to call up all these vendors, do a real-time communication. We have done that. Okay, we'll be able to see it how we have done that. The vendor will not understand that they are not talking to a real person. It just sounds like a real person. Obviously the person, why it looks like there's a real person, because that person has been backed by such a good amount of knowledge base and training. Right? Now think of you, if you know Jason Lenkin, who is the owner of Sastra, who run all these top global events for SaaS companies. Now, if you follow him on LinkedIn, you'll be able to see that how he has mentioned that he is continuously training his agents, right, on a regular basis for all the content they have created so far. So they have been doing this Sastra event since 2013 probably. So it's like 12 years of content. He is doing so many podcasts, he's writing so many articles, LinkedIn content, all of them put together. His agents are being trained, right? Now you think of that if someone is coming and asking some questions, any question, the agent will be like a super human being, right? To answer any answer. It can answer so much because it has so much data, right? So we'll be seeing that how the knowledge base and training works for any such agent. It is pretty simple, nothing big deal. Whatever we are building here as a POC, again, 45 days we created all these POCs. Not a very good looking stuff, but you will see that how it works. First, this is the flow. Okay, so it's like we have created a flow with we create the knowledge base, right? We put the basic information like the knowledge base name, knowledge base description, right? And then we can start uploading all the documents just for the sake of showing you how it works, right? And when you save it, it is the knowledge base is uploaded. This is for the static content. Okay, so whenever you are building something, an agent, you have to provide a good amount of static content. You can just add it like that. You can also build a system like we are building such system which will continuously pull the real data from an API. So maybe we have a blog where you are continuously adding posts and it is taking those content from a feed, right? So we just have a feed, a tool, an API which will be pulling this data and feeding itself. Right? So it can be a regular affair, and you do not need to bother about uploading the static content because you are making changes somewhere, and you know that your agents are being already trained with that. So this is the basic flow. I need Aniket to show you how it works real time. Aniket, can you start doing that? You have to take the control. So this is just a tool, a system. Some of the POCs we have created specifically for this event. This is not a real working software. So this is the knowledge base and training. You see that we can create a basic knowledge base, and you can just click on the stellar moments events, and this is how you can just add all the items. Click on the present knowledge base that we have already created. Is this already updated? Okay, no issue. You show us how our knowledge base can be created. Okay, so this is how you see that whenever we are creating a chatbot, right, we are now providing it with the knowledge base that we have already uploaded, just for the sake of showing you a demo. Now you see there's an option that you can train your bot with the previous chat data. So if you're turning it on, again, just for the sake of showing you a POC, you can turn that on. So any chat that is being happening continuously, and there are so many people coming to the website. Specifically, maybe you are running a corporate event. So many people are coming to the website asking questions. They're trying to understand, and then there's a chatbot which is doing the communication, or maybe there's a real person communicating with all these attendees or all these people who are interested in knowing about the event. We can continuously take that content and keep on enriching the chatbot. Again, not necessarily you should be completely blind about it. You should go to the content. You should see that if the content is proper. This become this become a regular affair just to ensure that the training is proper. But it is now live trained by all the communication happening. So it is like if you are doing it with the chat data, we can also connect your emails. So your email, and we can put it like, if there is an email chain or anything coming from this specific subject line or something like that, those content will be also be taken as part of the training. Okay, it is very difficult to build a ready-made tool with this type of capability. Okay, that is something we have seen. Even we try to find out, every company is different and their needs are different. So you may need to build some of these capabilities yourselves. It's not very complex. Individual agents are not very complex to build, but what is important is to connect all those events and ensuring that there's a proper channel via which all these agents are being trained. Yes, Aniket, what else is there? So auto training is there. Knowledge base, I think this is how you can select the knowledge base, right? So we have all static content we have put together. It is there. You see, we are creating this to show you that how it is being now trained with this content. Yeah, you can save it. It's done, right? Okay. So let's chat. So now all the answers it is giving are from the knowledge base. Now there are so many chatbots. There are so many chatbot tools which are already out there. It does the exact same thing. That's not a big deal. Building a chatbot is not a big deal. What is the big deal is, again, the training and connecting this chatbot with the other agents, right? So when you go to the other agents, you'll be able to see that now this chatbot's content are being used in our other types of AI agents. Okay, and that is what is important. You need to have an unified training system which are continuously improving your agents, and these agents you can keep on building these agents. One by one you can build, you can enrich them. This is how it can take the content, the contact data. Now this contact data can be directly connected to your CRM. So anything comes in, it will be automatically a lead will be sent. I mean, pretty simple. You have seen it from a good number of chatbots, like you see that we are showing here, Intercom or Drift. They are all doing it, right? But they may not give you the option to continuously train it in whichever way you want it. So that is where the challenges come in. Some of the tools are coming up with this type of capabilities. You can find out maybe the 11 labs had that. Maybe Intercom is also bringing some of these capabilities. Right. So you have to find out if there are tools which are giving you this, from multi-sources training capabilities. If it does, and if it gives you an option to integrate maybe via directly or via Zapier or some other tool, then bingo, you already got it done. Okay. You still may have to put some of the custom works if you need it. And again, it is very easy to do. If you are using an Intercom chatbot and if they are providing you an API access, you can do a lot of things. With Intercom, from the admin system, it can do probably 80%, but the rest of the 20% you can just build on the top of the API. Okay? And we do that all the time, and it just completes it. So 80% plus this 20% custom works, it is done. Okay, so yeah, Aniket, any questions so far on this? This is I showed to you pretty fast. Okay, I mean there are so many things in the screen, but I hope you got the idea. If there is any question, please put it in the chat, okay, so that we can take look into it at a later point of time. Okay, Aniket, we can move on to the next one. Okay, can you go to the presentation? Okay, so this is the knowledge base and training. These are the videos. When it's sending you the presentation PPT, you will get that. Okay, now chatbot training, we have already shown you the chatbot training how it works. Create a chatbot, put the basic configuration, auto train or turn it on, right? Configure your knowledge base, add additional instruction like most of the prompts, right? And then save chatbot. I mean, we are showing you just one workflow. It can be like, there are multiple different ways you are adding more items to the work, the workflow. And that is, it is just like connecting all the dots together, okay, and not very complex again, but it is going to be so much helpful. Think of that. I'm sure that you get a lot of calls, you get so much communication, keep on going for any event that is happening. Okay, and if you can just completely remove it, the manual interaction with our chatbot, and then we are going to show you that how the calling part can be automated. You are removing a complete 1% or 2% from that event. Okay, so two people, you are saving the budget. You are ensuring that there is no glitch because your bots are all trained with the right information. You have already tested it. You are already doing the testing on a regular basis to ensure that your training is proper, and you have completely replaced your pre-conversion or maybe already attendees or any type of people who will be coming to the website or some other place to do the communication. They can either chat or do the calling. Okay, so this part of the chatbot part we can. This is just how you can find out some more information. There are chat history, there are lead collection, there are analytics, right? So we have just collected all the data. You may not need to show all the data or use all the data. You can just integrate it with your present email marketing or CRM system, and that will take care of this. The videos are already there to show you how it works. You can see it at a later point of time. Now, voice agent training and user flow. For voice agent, it is just a similar agent, right? We are already doing it. You can exactly select. There are so many different types of APIs out there, and pretty top good quality APIs are there, which gives you exactly real voices of people. Okay, so now voice agent training, the training part is exactly the same. Just the way you have trained your chatbot, same workflow, put your voice agent training, same information, the voice agent is going to be also trained. Now, voice agent can do two things. One, it can take all the calls coming to you, so there can be a simple button, and if someone is making a call, you will see that a real person is communicating, asking questions, giving answers, and then taking the contact details if required, and then saving that. Okay, I have seen a lot of people now have started, even if they understand that this is a bot, right? They started preferring the bot, okay, instead of talking to a real person. The reason being, a lot of cases, the real person in this type of scenario, they say, "Hey, I don't have enough information on this. Can I get back to you?" That happens all the time. It happens for customer support. It happens so many different areas. Your bots are trained. Your bots are trained with maybe your 10 years data. They are not going to be saying it. They will be giving you answers. Obviously, I mean, if you're asking something which is beyond their training, they will say, "Hey, I don't have any knowledge about it," which is fine, right? So, voice agent training, let us show you how it works. So, it is a outreach management system, right? You can create your voice agent. We'll show you the flow, right? And then you can select, like, what is a most custom one, or there's a sample voice agent that you want to take care of, right? So you put all the information of the agent, what type of instructions you want to provide, what type of training details you want to provide, all of them, and then a custom voice agent is created. Okay, now this voice agent can do all these two things. One can be inbound calling, one receiving the calls, or it can do the outreach. Aniket, can you show us how it is done? Yeah, Aniket, are you showing? So we are just creating a basic knowledge base to show you that whatever training data we are training with. Now we can create a custom agent, a sales agent. I mean, nothing different. We have just created some prompts, some pre-trained templates that can be used, right? Just to show you that what are the possibilities. Maybe you are going to be creating different types of voice agents, whether it is for uh, customer support, whether it is for venue management related information. There can be sales related information. You can create different type of voice agents where you want to put it, and accordingly you can just create some templates. Okay, pretty simple to do it. Now there are different type of settings. You see that these are the different type of settings all these top APIs are providing. Right? So the streaming latency, stability, how fast they are supposed to speak. You can select specifically which locations agent they're supposed to be. Whether it's from someone from Dubai, someone from United States, someone from say Lisbon, right? There are so many voice agents already created by all the top tools like 11 Labs, right? And we have used 11 Labs for multiple projects. You will see it's absolutely real time. You will not even understand. It can clone it. Okay, so it is like if you think that okay, I do not want to use this, I want to use my voice. There's a way to clone your voice, right? And then that voice can be utilized here. So you create a voice agent, we'll do these changes to the API, and then your voice agent is created. It's just like speaking to you. Think of that. Where was this even 6 months back, right? Things have changed significantly now. We do not know whether in event management it can be really useful or not, but when you're looking into some of the top event management companies, we have seen that they have already started replacing their basic sales team with this. Because if think of that, if for the last 10 years you got so many attendees, maybe you have a list of say 2,000 people or 3,000 people to contact. You need a caller to continuously call them. You do not need a caller right now. You have an agent, you put that specific in which time gap with what information they're supposed to call. Make a click, it will start calling all 2,000 people one by one in real time, in real voice of yours, with real training by all your training materials, right? Even if your audience understand that's an agent, right, they will be really happy to see that the type of capability or the knowledge this bot has. And people have started accepting it. I have started going to a good number of sites where I just chat with the bot. I do not want to chat with the real people. The real people make me wait. A bot doesn't, right? It immediately tells me that, hey, you need to go to this place, you need to go to this link, just click on this link, you will get all the information. That's a big deal, right? So here, Aniket, what are you showing? Outreach. You're showing the voice settings, right? Training data. We have already used the training data from the chat, right? So this is chat from chat history. We can select. I mean, these things are all again part of the POC. We can take all the chat histories, right? So they already got the training information. You see, this complete transcript are now used to generate, train them, right? And the way we do it, like taking all the content, putting it to a vector database to ensure that those can be very easily used by the agent to immediately grab the information and provide to you. Just the way you go to ChatGPT, ask a question, in case get an answer almost immediately, just the way we can do it. Okay, and it is not going to be going out of your training. You can restrict it. Say, hey, don't answer anything beyond this training, and it will not. If you ask a question beyond that, we'll say that, hey, I cannot answer. But if you turn that off, if you look into your present database, if it doesn't get that answer, then it will start going outside. That let me find out globally if there is an answer to that. Maybe you do not want that. Yeah. So. this is done right. We need to see the outreach, how it works. We had a recording, right? Show us how the voice campaigns can be done. This is a campaign. This is what? This is the outreach management leading. Yeah. So this. We are seeing how a voice agent can be used. Yes. Let's turn on the video. I don't know how to play that. I don't have an option to play that, so I'm not sure. Okay, can you look into it if you can play it? Or maybe quickly sharing your screen and the video that you already have raw uploaded in your drive, you can run it from there. I'm getting the option. Till then, I can continue the discussion. So what we did is we tried to, like with the trained voice agent, we started doing one call. Okay, and we are going to show you that how it sounds like. Yes.
Oh.
Hello, I want to have a wedding event planned. Can you help me out with it?
Of course, I can certainly help with that. To give you the best recommendations, could you tell me what type of wedding you're envisioning and what your approximate budget is?
Yeah, so I want a simple, elegant wedding with a good guest experience.
That sounds lovely. To help me narrow down the best options for you, could you give me an estimate of how many guests you're planning to invite? Also, do you have a
100
budget
plus?
in mind, or would you... Okay, great. So you're planning for over 100 guests. Do you have a budget in mind for the wedding? Or would you like me to share some information about our wedding packages and average costs to help you get started?
Yeah, if you could provide me with some packages, that would be good.
Okay, I can certainly provide you with some information about our wedding packages. We offer full-service planning for traditional destination and micro weddings with budgets starting at $15,000. We have 3 packages, Essential, Premium, and Luxe. The Essential package starts at $5,000 and is suitable for up to 100 guests. It includes venue coordination, basic decor and audio-visual, and an on-site coordinator. The Premium package starts at $15,000, and it's good for up to 300 guests. This package includes custom decor and lighting, entertainment booking, full vendor management, and an event website with an RSVP tool. Finally, the Luxe package starts at $35,000 and has no limit on the number of guests. It
Okay,
includes
so what can you, what will happen if I cancel? Do I get a refund?
Yes, you can get a refund if you cancel. If you cancel more than 30 days before the event, you'll get a 70% refund. If you cancel within 15 to 30 days of the event, you'll receive a 40% refund. However, if you cancel less than 15 days before the event, you won't receive a refund.
Okay,
Also, please
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I think you got the idea. It is just like to show you, in order to show you that how with the trained information a real person is talking. Right now, we have selected someone from the US, right? It can be anyone. There's a huge number of people you can listen to it. Again, you can have your own clone voice, but think of that. Someone giving these answers, you are completely eliminating the person who will be taking these calls. It's a big deal, right? Now, the same way we have another option. Let's see in the next screen, where we can do the outreach. This is a batch call, right? Yes. Now you see that in the outreach option, you can provide a complete list of people you want to talk, provide calling information, right? So if you want to start, you can give a clear prompt that, hey, I want you to call these people, and then they can be attendees or they can be sponsors, right? And you have to initiate the conversation like this. So you are giving a complete instruction. Again, you are giving instruction in English, plain English, right? With that, you once you start the campaign, you see that with the existing leads, all these leads you can see, schedule it now or later, it will start calling. You do not need to be there. You can close the browser. You know that it is going to be happening at a later point of time. Whatever time you have scheduled it for, it will start calling those people, ask relevant questions, get all the information, save all the information, and it will move on to the next, right? If people are already doing that, you see, this is so much important, specifically in event management, where there are so many people you need to talk to. They are not high value client, right? There are so many people you have to talk. Having someone, a human being, calling them up, it takes so much time. Making a bot take care of it solves so much pain. Okay, maybe sponsors are a big deal. You will be keeping that for your own manual calling, right? But maybe attendees, suppose you are having an event with say 1,000 people for the event, and for the in order to bring the 1,000 people, you have to reach out to say a list of 10,000 or 20,000 audience. That's a big list, right? You don't need to bother about it. Put your agent, again, this agent is also trained by all the communication that have been going on in your website, in your in your emails, in your documents, in your blogs, in your social media. They are trained, and now you have trained them that how they are supposed to be communicating. So you are creating individual outreach agents who will be doing only one type of job, and those are very, very clearly uh, you know trained to them. Again, if people are asking questions, they'll be going into their training information, give you the data. If they're calling and getting information, they are going to be saving it into the system. So this is kind of the second last, right? The other one that we have, this is a very simple one. We looked into it, and this is one of the corporate events. A few corporate events, we have seen that a lot of people get speeches, right? And we thought that there can be a tool for content review and analysis. This is not specific to a wedding event or something, but if there's a corporate event where there are speeches, or it's a big event and people are, you are expecting a lot of speeches to be coming from a lot of people, and you have to do a content review and analysis. How do you do that? People do that on a regular, they have to go through the complete content. Right now, you can put that content in ChatGPT and get certain analysis. Instead, why not create an agent to take care of it? So what we did is we have created an agent just to show you for this purpose. This is completely separate, not very specific to event management, but we have seen that this is an use case for a specific type of events, okay, which is the corporate events or conferences, where they get a lot of content and they have to review it. So, Aniket, can we see it quickly how we are doing this content analysis? Again, you have to train that agent saying that, hey, do this content analysis in this way, and accordingly you will be getting the analytics. Okay, so this is very basic. We have put up some level of analysis methodology like standard and compliance and legal. All of them have different types of prompts, right? So we have done the prompt engineering, and then in the analysis workflow, you see that how the process works. We have to upload, we have to configure the parameters, we have to analyze, it validates, and then it provides a complete analysis, right? So you are providing instructions. There is a set of instruction you have already created. Maybe you can add some custom instruction. We have just created for the sake of POC. With that, let us just quickly upload one content and start the analysis. Yes, Aniket. Yeah, now you see that the way we have trained it, we have got the analysis. Okay, and this is something very specific, and it was fun to create an agent like that. This is very useful for our other types of businesses. Okay, and if you are running corporate events, if you get a lot of content that you need to review, such a tool is going to be very useful. There are so many tools. There are Jasper, there are Copy AI, but they do not provide you an exact capability like that. You have to build it. Again, building these things do not take a lot of time or cost. Okay, if you want to build a very robust software, it may take some time and cost. Otherwise, it's just your internal purpose created. You see that we have created it. It didn't take so much time, and it just works, right? It makes so much manual effort. Your repeated work is gone because now we have created a tool like it. Okay, some part of the tools we are automatically generating even by AI itself. Okay, so things have changed over the last 1 year significantly. Okay, now the last agent, we are already at the end of the workshop. The last agent, let us look into it. Can you go to the presentation? Okay, now social media content generation. We are playing a lot around it. I'm sure that at the time of event you have to do a lot of sharing on social media. Maybe not only social media, different other places, right? So social media content generation becomes one of the challenge. And you are hiring marketing people, you are hiring promotion people to create these contents and how they are going to be creating the content. They will look into your previous information, right? All the training data all the data they have. With that, probably they are continuously creating something to share on social media. Now think of, we are creating specific agents, and we are doing it already at Innofy. We have started doing that for our own sake. Think of, you are creating an agent for Twitter, you are creating an agent for LinkedIn, you are creating an agent for Facebook. There are different agents. There is a master agent sitting at the bottom, right, which is trained by all the training material that we already got, right? Now, Twitter agent, we have a document. If we can show that in Twitter, you can share almost 8 to 9 types of content. Again, maybe you do not need to immediately integrate it, like from content someone is going to be creating an automatic image. AI is not that good yet, but even content creation is a big deal, right? And your content creation is going to be associated with specific event information, right? Now think of that, for this event we are running this workshop. We are taking all the content, every research, everything we have done, putting it all together. We are putting it, say, as a static information. We do not have any live data yet. With that, we are creating a social media training, right? And now social media agents, it will just take these individual agents, right, and we'll tell them that, hey, create something to share about how in our upcoming conference, say you are having a conference, say, on marketing, then upcoming marketing conference, how we are handling, how we are having some great speakers on these topics, right? So it will immediately 3-4 agents you have created. One will be creating a content for LinkedIn, one will be creating a content for Twitter, one will be creating a content, text-based content. How you are going to be using that text-based content, up to you. If you want to directly publish that text-based content to the social media, integrate this with a tool, social tool like Buffer or something, right? So create a content, automatically posting there, your job is done. You do not need to bother about it. Even you can have some tools which can take the content from that. It can create smaller carousels or smaller carousel videos. AI is becoming that good slowly. It's not that good yet, but you see, promotion or social media content is one of the major areas, right, where you are dependent on someone. Think of an intern you are hiring, and you do not need to tell the intern that, hey, what you need to share, don't bother about it. I have created a complete 1 month's plan that these are the type of content should go daily basis, and the system will automatically create the content, give that content to the intern. The intern will be just only manually posting it or creating some. You have a designer, you'll be creating something and posting it there. Social media content creation is the most important part, and I think when you're looking into our challenges, marketing and promotion is one of the big deals for any event, because at that specific time, before and after, you have to do a good amount of marketing related stuff. This automation may help you. Again, building such an agent is not a big deal, right? But there are some tools already out there, not as good as the way we want it. Some custom level of creation may be needed, but after that, if you are able to train your agent and you can prompt them and just connect a few dots, it will just be your own someone, your own employee who you know that is never going to fail. Right? So social media is something we are continuously trying to build further. What can be done there. We have created a good number of structures, right? So maybe at a later point, another workshop, we can show how we are creating a solid tool around social media agent. Again, it is going to be not for outside use. It is going to be only for our internal use. You can build something like that for yourself also, and maybe that's going to be pretty useful tool for your event management business. So with that, all the videos are there. I think Aniket, we can show quickly what we can create. It's a shorter version. So you see some templates we have already created: product launch announcement, success stories showcase, educational deep dive. Again, we took the content from ChatGPT, put it there, saying that hey, these are the templates. Yeah. So templates are created. Let's not create another template. Let's see how we are getting the content. Or do you want to create a template? Go ahead. So these are the prompts we are providing. We have multiple like Instagram, Twitter, and all. We are giving the topic on which topic we need to create. There are certain tones, right? Enthusiastic, social post. You are training again how you want it. All four of them. Now you see this is how all the contents are being generated. Okay, and you can save this content here. All the content will be saved here. You can take it for a little part. Just for the sake of POC, we have done that, and you see, it is done according to the platform format. Okay, not a great thing, something, because we didn't put a lot of efforts here just to show you that what is possible with here. And you can do the same thing going to ChatGPT asking about it, but how ChatGPT agents. Even if you create a custom agent in ChatGPT, it is not going to be as good trained the way you want to be training it, right? Your training is such a huge sources. There are so many different sources you are taking the data and training it. You cannot do that on just a ChatGPT or Perplexity or any type of tool. You have to build a custom system, a custom training system, and that training system will be fueling all your agents. So these are just some of the agents, right? You see that we didn't want to show you what are the possibilities of adding AI into event management. Most of the tools that you have seen are not very specific to event management, except maybe the content review one. We just wanted to show you that the way people are coming to us, the way companies are coming to us, some of them are very clear about what they need to do in AI, right? Some of them are not having any idea how to do that in AI. Even all of us are new to AI, right? So if anything coming to us, we have to do our analysis, and we do that. Learning AI, doing all these things in AI is absolutely fun. Okay, so someone coming to us saying that, hey, this is my business and these are my challenges. What do you think I can do, right? And then we look into it, try to find out. Okay, maybe if we take you this big task, divided into these 6 chunks, right? Now each of these chunks can be taken care of by individual agents. We'll be putting all these agents together, linking them, trained by a common training data, and it will solve your problem. You cannot have a single system, a single agent solve all this big of a problem, right? But you can divide that problem, and it is important, it is absolutely important to divide those to smaller chunks of task, so that the agents can create those capabilities, do the specific work in the right manner. So if you look into it, and there's a research has been done. showing that if there's a total 6 set of tasks putting together, if you're giving a single agent to do all the 6 tasks together, it is giving you around 70% of the results. Okay, so it's like 70% of the results are accurate, 30% is almost an hallucinated data. But if you're dividing that big task into 6 different tasks, and then you are connecting these individual agents, now it is more than 92% accurate results. Okay, that is how it works. So if you have gone to ChatGPT, you have asked so much question. If it's a very long scroll content, you will see that it has started giving you all this hallucinatory information. It has started forgetting about it, and that is how it is built. It is not supposed to remember everything. It cannot remember. If you're using ChatGPT Pro, if you look into the memory, you'll see that it's a very haphazard memory. Okay, it is not very good. That is how it is built. But the same ChatGPT API, you take it, create a custom agent, right? Restrict it, give it training information, it will do marvelous job. So that's what we wanted to show you here, that what are the possibilities are there. Not creating any specific tool for the event management business, just showing some chunks of it wherever we have seen responses, where we have seen that it works pretty well. It is already working for some of the top events in the industry. Maybe you can think about it, building about it and putting it into your custom systems to build an automation that will reduce a good amount of manual repetitive work. Okay, and ultimately it is going to save your top first, biggest challenge, right, which is the budget constraint, right? With that, I think we are good. Aniket, can you go back to the presentation? Yeah, if there is a question, anything, feel free to ask. Have you got any question? Any question any of you have, please put it in the chat. We are already pretty much beyond the time.
Yeah, so anyone, if you have any questions, you can just unmute yourself, you can go on. Otherwise, we have some questions we already have, so I'll be going on with 1 or 2 questions. So if anyone, like anything you want to discuss, any challenges, anything, we can surely have it.
Okay, if not, that is absolutely fine. What questions we have already received? I think we have reached out to a good number of you, and we got a good number of questions from some of you. And Ankita, what questions we have got so far?
Yeah, so firstly, we have this question being asked, like mainly how to use AI towards like their advantage to make their life as event planners more easier, like maybe creating some text, some backend tools that can help in reconciling information, etc. for weddings. So if you can put some light on this.
Right. Yeah, we received this question. So again, building the decks, there are some tools which can create the decks for you, but then maybe you will not be happy the way it is built. We tried it, putting the content, asking it that, hey, create me the deck. We are not happy with the results, right? So there are some tools, I forgot the name, but again, content creation is something AI does it in a much better way. Right? And it is not only you have to depend on only one AI API. You can combine, like if you're going to do research, right, and you can use Perplexity's API, that will give you much better research data. Right? You take that research data and you push it to your OpenAI API, saying that, hey, I got this complete research data, so many sources are there, say 200, 300 sources and petitions. Taking those, now OpenAI probably creates something, a solid result, right? So it just depends on what you are trying to build. Again, as we discussed, that AI has limitation at this point. So everything that we have shown, you see that all of them are some way or other content creation or content modification, right? So it is like what AI does it very good. Like there's so much data you can feed it, and then you say, then hey, we have given you so much data, use that and give me the answer. What is the answer? Ultimately, it's a content only, right? What it does is it doesn't take that chunk of data and show it to you, right? It takes the chunk of data, it puts it in his terms, in his language, right? So it's more real time, right? So now with that content you are getting as part of chat, whether it's getting, you are getting it as a calling, you are getting it, for a take content. Ultimately, it is somehow or other, it's a content creation. That is where most of the event management companies can use it, right? And that's what you have shown. Uh, you cannot fully automate, and you should not try to do a fully automation at this stage. But if you are doing it in a hybrid manner, some automation, every workflow you have to put some manual effort, then it becomes really helpful.
So,
Any question? Further question?
sure. We do have another question. I think we already discussed, but still, like the next question is like, can AI help talk to guests by sending reminders, answering questions, or handling last minute changes?
Okay, yeah. So again, reminders and all are pretty simple stuff, right? Sending reminders is part of the workflow where you will be just putting that, they'll be getting a WhatsApp message, SMS, or an email, right? So that's pretty simple stuff. Now, last minute changes, we have done enough research on trying to find out that if that can be accommodated, AI is not going to be a very, very good tool there, right? And think of, there's a big event, right? And there's a last minute change. Everyone will be like, they will try to solve it by themselves instead of waiting for the AI to solve it, right? So I don't think that people, event managers or the event company heads, event management company heads, they are going to be trusting an AI at this stage, for a last minute change. But those last minute changes are the exact areas where manual involvement should be there, right? So those are very, very critical areas, and your AI is very, very basic, high level trained, right? Got some training information. It is giving you again the content, asking it to put a lot of head into jumbling different events and fitting something at the last moment. It may not take into account some emotional context. It may not take into account all the specific areas. You may not even train that AI to do that. Okay, so the results may not be accurate. Okay, so skip that and don't look into it. Okay, last minute changes are still going to be one of the major challenges in event management business, and we do not have an easy answer yet. Okay, I think it has. We have taken this to a pretty. It went beyond 1 hour 20 minutes. Okay, so I think the rest of the question, if there are questions, we are going to be anyway sending this take to all the attendees, right? Plus the recordings are going to be also available to you. So it has been an amazing experience talking to all of you, talking about something new. And event management is a complex area, and skipping everything else, we looked into it only because we tried to see what is possible. Okay, the challenges are very, very big there, and we just tried to help you, give you some idea how we can help. We are going to have another AI workshop very soon, sometime next month, right? And we probably are going to do it on legal tech or something else. But then again, we will keep on improving our present AI POCs. You may get emails from us for the next workshop. Feel free to join to see if what advanced AI capabilities we have brought into it. And you have been an amazing audience. Thank you so much for joining that workshop. Here is my email. In case you need to reach out to me for any question or anything that you feel free to directly. I mean, I reply back almost immediately. So if you have any question, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, team, for all the good work you have done for the last 45 days. Okay, and I hope that this is really helpful for all of you. Thank you.